Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Luke Gould, and I'm your 2020-2021 National Honor Society President. Welcome to North High School's chapter of the National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. Congratulations to our new candidates who are being inducted this evening. Your hard work has helped you achieve this level of success. As part of the National Honor Society, we know you will all feel a sense of confidence and honor. These are qualities that will directly influence your lives as well as the lives of others. We would also like to congratulate the parents of these students for setting fine examples and encouraging your children to strive for excellence in all areas. The National Honor Society challenges its members to continue working toward their highest potential in the areas of scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Good luck to all our candidates in the future. Now, I would like to take a moment to introduce our National Honor Society advisor and the 2020-2021 officers. Ms. Shaw is the advisor for National Honor Society this year. Throughout the year, she has assisted the Society officers with their duties in leading meetings, planning fundraisers, coordinating community involvement projects, and planning this ceremony. Aaron Yeager is this year's vice president. Kayla Hendricks is the treasurer, and Efren Martinez is the secretary. These students have provided leadership for chapter meetings and have also played a vital role in planning National Honor Society events. Also joining the ceremony is North High Principal, Mr. John Machik, who will be providing our closing remarks. At this time, National Honor Society Secretary Efren Martinez will introduce our guest speaker.
Our guest speaker tonight is Trig Jacobson. Trig Jacobson is the owner of Jake's Cafe. Jake's Cafe is an open office and meeting space for just about anyone doing business or some sort of project. Jake is heavily working on helping his community every day. He, to this day, has been a part of many lives of the Sheboygan North students. Here he is, Trig Jacobson.
Some of you might already be aware of a program called the North High School Innovator Fellowship. It has and continues to be for me an opportunity to work with students one-on-one for an entire year on subjects that they're truly passionate about. And some of these students have included Jacob Almato on sustainable fashion design, Elizabeth Johnson on gender identity, Katie English on creativity and education, Noel Wills on childhood depression, Maddie Green on happiness, Chloe Bone on domestic violence, and Chrissy McAtee on drug addiction. All have gone on to successful college and professional careers, and all are doing what they love and what they've been called to do. When I was about 8 years old, I learned a valuable lesson in one-on-one relationships from a 9-year-old boy named Mike. And he was the biggest, strongest, tallest, and perhaps the nicest kid in second grade. And he had a way of making everybody feel like they were his best friend, especially me. And it was a cold spring day in 1964, and Mike and I were walking home from school together. And in those days, school let out early enough to provide nearly 2 hours of mischief before everybody was expected home for dinner. We took advantage of that. Our entertainment, though, wasn't video games and social media. It was outdoor stuff like riding bikes and trash picking and playing army, but not that day. On that day, I had another idea, because less than 6 blocks from where I lived was the Sheboygan Yacht Club. My mom and dad were members, so I thought I would take Mike there to look at all the sailboats. Well, it was pretty cold and windy walk, but thankfully I had on my black Bucky Badger sweatshirt and heavy corduroys and good wool socks, and Mike had on a couple extra layers too, so we braved the cold and we finally made our way to the yacht club. It was blowing pretty hard by then and whipping through the rigging of all the sailboats tied up along the pier. With a water line of nearly 50 feet, the Chinook was the longest yacht on the yacht club pier, and from a distance, we could see a long rope blowing in the wind from the top of its mast. And as we approached the Chinook, I was having a kind of Tarzan moment. To jump up, grab the rope like a vine, and then swing out over the water and onto its deck. Well, I looked at Mike. He looked at me. Without saying a word, I jumped for the rope, swung through the air, and hit the side of the boat and splashed into the water. When I popped up to the surface, there he was. I saw Mike already laying down on the pier with his hand outstretched to help me. But the relief of his hand in mine was pretty short-lived because my heavy, wet clothes were pulling both of us down into the water. I remember looking up into Michael's eyes, just begging him to let me go because I didn't want him to drown too. But he only held on my hand tighter and screamed for help while I screamed for him to just let me go, but he wouldn't let go. And miraculously, a woman had heard his screams from shore and came running down the pier to help Mike pull me out of the water. And Michael had saved my life. The following summer, Michael moved away. 10 years later, he graduated from high school and joined the military. And the years went by and I had all but forgotten Mike until one day, a hunting buddy of mine had dropped the name Mike Rittenhouse in conversation. And I wondered if it was the same Mike Rittenhouse I knew as a kid. So I asked for his email address and I sent a note to mrittenhouse73@gmail.com. I don't know if you remember me, my name's Trig Jacobson. Are you the Mike Rittenhouse that lived on the corner of 4th and St. Clair? And less than a half hour later, Mike wrote back, "That's me. I often wondered about you. You don't save somebody's life often. How are you doing?" And a few days later, we got together for lunch at Mike's favorite restaurant in Oostburg. And we shared family pictures and we laughed and we cried for hours as we caught up on the last 50 years of our lives. I'm still not sure if I was more grateful to Michael for having saved my life that day, or Michael was more grateful to me for having had the opportunity to save it. What I do know is that the first real act of community service that I ever knew was my one-on-one relationship with a 9-year-old boy who took my hand and never let it go. And in a funny way, I still feel his hand in mine every time I extend it to someone else. And about 15 years ago, a fellow sailor and friend of mine who had contracted Lou Gehrig's disease and eventually became paralyzed from the neck down. It was his wish that he might one day sail again and even take his 80-year-old father with him. So I took his hand the same way that Michael had taken mine and made a promise to make it happen.
You think your dad's crazy?
Yeah, but he's always been crazy, so it's fine.
We'll be out there on the water with you, making sure everything's all right with you, okay? All right, cool.
Yeah, it's not like we need a ton. We just need enough, for point of reference.
Yeah.
And right now you can see all the way over to the South Pier there.
Yeah.
And if you've got boats around you, at least this flotilla of like 5 boats,
Yeah.
and they're spread out, that's all he's really going to need.
Yeah.
So we want to get a life jacket on?
Well, we're gonna get this one on first.
Okay.
Yep.
Steve's a very good sailor, so we're pretty sure that once he's on the boat, he's got full controls and everything is working. He shouldn't have any problem
What we're
sailing.
worried about is like the little details of, his arms have to be in pretty specific
Yes.
spots on his chair to be able to control them.
Yes.
And he, chokes easily sometimes.
Yes.
So it's just
Yes.
these little things that we're worried about that
Absolutely.
could screw
Okay.
it up. So.
Pretty comfortable? Okay, good. Come on.
And how's the height? Height's okay?
Things are really clear. This might be our window.
That was starboard.
He wants to circumnavigate death's door by himself, so
Yeah, I know it.
he's insane.
Yeah.
Both the sails are going to move at the same time, so if you just trim to the jib, the main just works in unison with it. So, give us a little bit of trim there, please, Steve. Thank you. So we're going to be bearing away when we clear this brake ball here, Steve, so you're going to have to give us some ease, but not just yet. You can see the telltales, I assume, so you can just trim away, mate. So if you want to ease the sails a bit for us, Steve. There you go, a bit more. Perfect, a bit more. Thank you. Turn to port a little bit for me on the ram, so I can get the ram on it. Oh, other way, Steve, sorry, my bad. Hold button, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. It's all you, mate.
You're steering.
You're steering, so when you're ready, so the left-hand bite switch is to turn the bow to port. There you go. Now it's centre right now, it's centre, so a bit more to port. And we're going to head over towards the lighthouse. There you go, excellent. And don't forget to trim.
And there goes the drone.
Where's the drone?
Right there in the gray boat behind us.
Next summer.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is.
128.
I think the macro is really. Or across the
Clear the
lake.
brake ball, Steve. Do you want to put it on standby mode so you have complete control of the tiller again? Yeah?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Well, we did it, folks. We did it. Team effort.
And the signal still is head to wind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty amazing. There he is, sailing on his own.
He's got these wires all around the inside of his diaphragm.
Sure.
And when you turn the box on, it sends impulses to different areas.
Sure.
So it'll
That
be
triggers it to contract,
yeah, and it's actually that's one of the biggest things that's helped his breathing. Steve, are you doing okay? Do you need anything readjusted? No. All right.
See you when we see you. No, just getting the autopilot to work with the bite switches, I think, was the biggest hassle for us, but that was it.
Sail trim looks good. Course heading is steady. Nice job.
Back and load there by the autopilot.
All right, we're gonna try to get some more wind for you guys.
On September 4th, using only a bite switch coupled to an autopilot and 2 touchpads for sail trim, Stephen Hieronymus took his 83-year-old father for a sail in a 23-foot sonar off the shores of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. At the time, he had no idea it would be their last sail together, because 12 days later, his father unexpectedly passed away. To Stephen, the quiet afternoon sail was a joyful return to something he loved. To his father, it was one of the most beautiful gifts he could have received from his son. And to other sailors with disabilities, it would further inspire seas to explore, develop, and refine the human interfaces necessary to provide any disabled person access to the wind and water.
Welcome back. Good to see you all. Much better. It's highly unlikely you're going to go through life without an opportunity to help another person, whether it's through a food pantry, Big Brothers and Sisters, Boys and Girls Club, Safe Harbor, the Humane Society, or any of a dozen others not far from the yacht club. You don't have to jump in and try to save everything. All you have to do is just lay down on the pier, reach out your hand, and help just one. The life you save might be your own.
The National Honor Society thanks Trig Jacobson for inspiring us with his heartfelt story for our induction ceremony. We now ask that all of our renewing members please rise, place your right hand over your heart, and recite the renewal pledge. I, a member of the National Honor Society, being aware of the honor bestowed upon me by my selection for membership into the National Honor Society, do hereby pledge loyalty to this organization. It shall be my earnest purpose to give unsparingly of my time and energy toward the promotion of all school activities. I will strive to be at all times a model student and will never knowingly bring reproach upon my school. You may now be seated. We will now conduct our candle lighting ceremony. On the table, you see a lit candle. This candle represents the eternal light of knowledge. There are other candles that represent scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Membership into the North School chapter of the National Honor Society is earned by the effective demonstration of these four qualities, which are held in high esteem. At this time, the officers will review these qualities and light the representative candles for our inductees.
Scholarship means a commitment to learning. This is a student willing to spend hours studying, constantly cultivating their mind. Scholarship is not created in just the school setting, but everywhere life is. This knowledge that our members possess is an important element in our lives, leading to the highest levels of success. This success through knowledge can only be attained through each member's diligence and effort. Scholarship means each is willing to perform their best work possible, regardless of their reward. Each member demonstrates their commitment to learning by making the most of their educational opportunities and using this to grow themselves.
Service can be expressed in various ways. Many opportunities arise daily to help others. Willingness to work without monetary compensation or recognition for the benefit of those in need is a quality we seek in our members. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership should exert a positive influence on the school. In taking initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to teach and help others in order to reach a common goal. The willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others shows true leadership. A leader also possesses self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter the power and resources that may exist, neither has an effect without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed, and thus it is a substantial charge to each of our members and the candidates.
Character is a combination of qualities we use in our daily lives to make the correct choices. It is a blend of reliability, honesty, sincerity, and respect. Through strong character, we gain self-respect and the respect of others. We do not receive character. Character is an inherent trait, and it is strengthened as we develop. By demonstrating positive qualities, we hope to provide examples of strong character.
We now ask our candidates to please light your own candle. Hold your candle in your left hand, place your hand over your heart, and repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold all the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. It is now time to introduce the newly accepted members to North High School's chapter of the National Honor Society. This year, we as an organization have put together a slideshow featuring our new members. On each slide, we have shown the member's name as well as a picture of the member. Additionally, each member has been asked to answer one of the following questions. How has the pandemic heightened your use of one of the 4 pillars of National Honor Society? Or how has upholding one of these pillars affected your life or the life of someone else? Please enjoy our slideshow as we celebrate the new members of our 2020-2021 North High National Honor Society.
Congratulations to all of you on being inducted into North High School's chapter of the National Honor Society. The National Honor Society officers will now recognize the following seniors who have remained in good standing with our chapter of the National Honor Society for the 2 eligible years. This year, a slideshow was made in which renewing members were asked to introduce themselves by answering one of the following questions. How do you see yourself upholding the 4 pillars of a National Honor Society following graduation, or how will you be the change?
Congratulations to all of these seniors for upholding our National Honor Society standards throughout their high school years. Mr. John Machek, our school principal, will make tonight's closing remarks.
Hello, my name is John Machek, principal at North High School. I would like to thank Luke Gottwald and the rest of the NHS officers for planning this event. A big thanks to Mrs. Shaw, NHS advisor, for overcoming many obstacles, including coming up with student alternatives and working through an email nomination process, as well as planning and meeting and organizing everything virtually. Thank you to our parents and teachers and other community supporters, and thank you to our guest presenter, Mr. Trig Jacobson, for his inspiring and uplifting story. That was really well done and really well documented. Mr. Jacobson, you are our local hero and a great ambassador to this community. Finally, congratulations to our returning members and new members of NHS. Your work is noticed and commendable during these extraordinary times. You are leaders and the future movers and shakers on this planet. Congratulations again, and on behalf of the entire staff at North High School, we really hope you come back soon.